Hello, hello, welcome YouTube, and what's up Instagram? It's Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. I ain't seen y'all in a little while, but I had a thought. I am not gonna be on here long at all. This may be like 5 or 6 minutes, but I had a thought. I woke up with something on my mind, and I was like, man, I really want to share this. And it's around how the pop music bias influenced you as a musician. Okay, so you all that come from university, voice training, classical singers, voice teachers, you know what I'm saying? In most of our universities, there was a pretty obvious bias against pop music education, against performing commercial styles. And so I woke up, I think yesterday, with a thought like, man, how did that really affect us as singers? And I don't know if y'all anything like me, like you just write your ideas on anything. This is a little scratch sheet of paper, but the download was coming, and I was like, man, I really want to share this. So just 3 ways that came to mind. The first way that the pop music bias affects you as a musician is that it affects your ears. It affects your hearing, or you'll hear me use the term your aural perception. So when you come through a university program, we categorize sounds as good or bad sounds, right? So if it's a classical influence sound, head dominant, we usually call that a good, healthy sound, right? If it's a more chest dominant sound, if it's a belt, something that you would usually hear in commercial music in a university, that's usually identified as a bad, unhealthy sound. Okay, but there is not science to back that up. And again, like I tell y'all all the time, classical singers have vocal injury just like commercial singers. All right, so we have to learn to reframe that, and instead of looking at good and bad good and bad sounds, because think about it, what classifies a sound as good or bad? Somebody's preference, right? Somebody's bias. That's a bias that is making us think that. That's a bias that's telling us, think this way about this sound, think this way about that other sound. No, it's not based on science, or it's not based on fact. So instead, we want to start categorizing sounds as sustainable versus non-sustainable. Okay, if somebody's doing a rock scream, if somebody's doing a growl, and it's sustainable, it's not tearing their voice up. If somebody is belting repeatedly and it's not damaging their voice and causing serious fatigue, that's a sustainable sound. Go on and do it. Belt until the cows come home. Do you know what I'm saying? Rock scream until the cows come home. It's a sustainable sound. But excuse me, if it is a sound that is making you fatigue, if you're noticing hoarseness and raspiness and stuff like that, then you need to pull up off of that, because that's not a sustainable sound. Okay, welcome to you. Oh, what's up, Jessica? Welcome. So that's the first thing. The second way that the pop music bias has affected you as a musician, it's affected your mind and your self-confidence. Okay, and this is a big one, because that bias talks to us all during our university tenure, and we start to think like, my voice is only made for classical. I have a client that said that to me one time, like, I want to belt, I want to sing this commercial music, but I really believe my voice is only made for classical. Like, no, that does not exist. If you have a voice, training the voice is like training a muscle. Okay, it's like putting in the reps, learning the coordinations. You can learn to do different coordinations, just like you can learn to do different things in the gym. The voice responds the same way if you do the correct exercises to build the coordinations that you want to make the sounds you make. Do you know what I'm saying? So it affects your mind. It affects what you think about your voice. It affects what you think about what you can do vocally. And this is where we start getting into limiting beliefs. We start getting into I can't, I can only, all of that limitation, when it's really not true. And it affects your self-confidence. It does. It affects your self-trust. I remember on a live I did recently, I was talking about how you no longer trust your gut. You know what I mean? Most of us didn't start out singing classical music. We started out singing pop, American pop music, and you just sang from your gut. You sang from your spirit. You didn't have all this knowledge, and you definitely didn't have Western classical training. But when you get in that process through university, it teaches you to stop trusting your gut, which makes you lack confidence when you go back to sing the American pop music. Do you see what I'm saying? So these are ways. I'm just raising awareness today. I'm about to be in and be out. What's up on YouTube, and welcome on Instagram. I'm going to be in and be out, but I just want to bring to your awareness ways that the pop music education bias in universities has affected you as a musician, okay? And the third way it has affected you is with your money. Okay, so think about this. When I say money, I'm talking about those of you who are artists, who are still wanting to sing. If you songwriters or whatever you're doing, you want to sing and perform, or if you are a voice teacher, if you still are hanging on to that pop music bias, like commercial music is bad or unhealthy, classical music is the best, that's messing with your money. Here's how. If you are a classical singer and you want to audition for musical theater or some commercial opportunities, like, you're not going to even go out for it. You're going to self-sabotage before you even fill out the application to go audition, because you're going to think, dang, I can't sing those sounds. Or you're going to think, if I make those sounds, it's going to tear my voice up. So you self-sabotage and you don't even have access to the opportunity. You won't even try. Do you see how this is affecting, like I said, first your ears, your mind, and then your money? If you're a voice teacher, right, you don't even have the tools to be able to teach a commercial style singer. You know what I mean? You can't demonstrate it for them. So you're only going to stay in this box. I only teach classical and some light music theater, and that's it. Do you know how that's hindering your money? People still want to sing, y'all, but most of them don't want to sing classical music. They want to sing American pop music. So if you're a voice teacher, it will behoove you to get the skills necessary so that you can not only serve your classical singers, but you can also serve your pop and contemporary singers too. And that's expanding your money base if you're an independent voice teacher. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, I got to hop off. I got another meeting in 5 minutes. But again, for those of you all who are just joining, I had an idea or a thought the other morning about the pop music education bias. And if you want to watch my YouTube video, I did a full video. It's about 30 minutes. I did a video about that and some of the roots behind the pop music bias in university voice instruction. But yeah, this bias has got us messed up, y'all. So we got to come out of it. We have to really self-assess. What do I believe about my voice? What do I really believe my voice can do? And if you've got these limiting beliefs, do the work and find out, why do I believe this? Who told me this? Where does this thought come from? Is it backed up by vocal science? You know what I'm saying? Is there proof? Because if singing commercial music is going to tear your voice up, you got to look at the artist that's been singing commercial music for 30, 35 years that's still going. We got to think, and we got to come out of the entanglement of that pop music bias that we got into in university. Okay, so that's it, y'all. That's all I wanted to drop today. Please leave some comments. Let me know. Replay watchers, I always thank you. Leave some comments and let me know what you think about this, and if you think of other ways that that the pop music bias has affected you as a musician, I would love for you to drop it in the comment, because I may come back and talk about this more. Okay, y'all have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.